Hi there, my name is Sunil Yadav. I'm going to talk about MongoDB, like what is difference between update versus update many, okay, and how we can use the find and to one element and many elements. So I'm going to talk about it in more details in today session. Okay, so this is the yesterday we tried, to create the event sub events, right? So we discussed in previous session. So what is new, I'm going to explain. So we created this collection. So if we can say db, right? So db we can say is pointing to test. So let's say use our events, right? Events database. And now if we go to this database, we can say let's check the db. So now it's pointing to my events table, sorry, event database. So if we can say db dot event store dot find, right? So we can say how many elements we have. So we don't have anything, right? I think it's deleted everything from this one. So we inserted yesterday like update one element or inserted one element. So let's try to insert more than one elements. So if we want to insert more than one element, so we are saying this array of element, right? This is array and this is my one object we have in JSON format. Okay, so we are going to say we need to insert more than one, then we have to put this is small bracket and this is going to be create a construct like array. So let me remove this one. Okay, and let's try to insert all these records. So we are going to use insert many basically. Okay, so we are going to say insert, right? Insert many, right? And we just copy paste, right? So let's close this bracket and try to run it. So now is inserted, right? How many record is inserted? We are saying inserted IDs is this one and 1 2 3, one is custom ID and one is this ID. So let's try to find out find dot pretty, right? So we can say nice format, we can see here. Okay, that looks good. So suppose if you want to find a specific record basically, so generally we need to put the filter criteria right here. We can say find some item like event id. We are going to say 1 2 3 4, right? And just we need to put under braces pilot JSON. Now we can see, right, this data we can say is we are able to get it. So what we are trying to do here is individually we are saying whenever you find this event id, give me this id. But if we are try to run like find one, right? Okay, and then it is will not going to work because find one don't have a cursor. I will come later what is cursor. So this method is trying to get the pretty method, but this method is not available with find one. Okay, so they are getting the error. Okay, so we tried yesterday like update one, and let's try to use again and let's try to update something. So if you want to update something, right, in this record 1 2 3 and add some value, so what we generally say update, right? Update one, where event id is this, right? And generally we say we want to insert something, so we just say the name, right? Insert, or we can say flag true, right? So if we want to insert this, it will not going to work. Okay, why it's not going to work? Because we are trying to set something and to insert some value. So let's try to run it. So we can see it's getting the error like this, unable to do document perform. So yesterday we talked about how we can do that. We need to use the set keyword, right? In Kotlin we have, sorry, in MongoDB we have. So we can say set and this value, right? So here we are trying to set this value. So if this key and value is present, then it's going to override it then it's going to leave it. If not present, then it's going to be updated. So let's try it. Now we can say one document is matched with this event id, inserted one count, right? Flag true. So this way it's work, right? But if we want, and let's try to see that data again. So we can say find one. So we can see, let's remove find pretty, this one. Now we can see this record is inserted, and now flag is also inserted as well. But if supposed to use update, right, in place of update one, right? So if we use this one, right, and try to run it, so now we can see it's matched something, modified some nothing, right? So it's matched but nothing updated. So what can we do here? Let's try to run without, using the set. Okay, so if we do that, now we can say, right, matched one, and number of modified is 1 as well. So let's see the record, what we see now. In this, right, we don't see any record at all, right? And why we don't see any record? Match one, and yeah, we can see. So let me first do, right, let me first find all the data. Okay, so we don't able to see the data itself. Okay, so let's see what we have in this one. So we are saying find this one. Let's do the pretty method call. So we can see here, right, 3 record, but this record, this id is gone, replace with 1 2 3, and now added this value, correct? But why this is happen? Because we are using this id, right, 1 2 3 4, and the value. So earlier, if we can see, right, how many record we have. So we have 2 record basically, 1 2 3 id, right, 1 2 3 4. Okay, and event id is also matched, right? So we set this one. So so don't confuse with this one. We did with event id, right? Find out the event id where is matched, and replace the data basically. So this one is, this record is, if you see, right, this id is f65, the last 3 digit. So we can say this digit I'll represent, right, and this replace, the new record itself basically. So if you use update, right, without setting the flag, so it's going to expect the object id is going to replace everything, with this one. So this is the with update problem. Like if you update something, then it's going to replace that document. So the document I updated, right, if you see here, right, what we have said here is update, and update whenever you find this match, update everything with this one. So it's try to replace this document itself, expect id underscore id. So this is the difference between update one. And if you want to use replace one, right, so if we want to use replace one, so it's going to be replaced with that document. Suppose we want to replace something with this one. Let us see this object id, right? So I'm going to first find this object id. Let's first find out find one. Command B, and run it. So we can see this data. If we are trying to use find replace one, just press the tab, so we can see replace one. And what I want to replace, let me remove this small bracket, like replace one with new document. Okay, so what I'm going to say, like I'm going to create one document, name is equal to x, sorry, not is equal to, we need to put double quotes, and like is something, and that's it. Let's go with these 2 documents and try to insert it. Let's see. So now it's one document match and replace count one. So what we are getting here is, so if I'm trying to get this document, right, we can say this one. So this is replace one is like if you want to use replace something with that document, generally we use in replace. So that document is going to be replaced with the original document. So this way we can use replace one, find one. It's really useful. I'm going to talk about what is cursor, in MongoDB. So if I prepared one documents here, so I'm saying items. What is item is like the list of data we have. So it is like array of list data we have, like name, a item ID is 1 2 3. So we can say 23 record we have, and let's try to insert it. So let's see what is happening. Let me clear all this data. So I'm going to say db dot items, create a collection item, right, and insert many, right, insert many and the value, right. I'm going to close the bracket and going to insert it. So we can see, right, we have inserted 23 records, and let's try to find out these two records. So I'm going to say items, right, dot find. I'm saying all the record and give me the data, pretty format data, right. Now we can see only 20 records, right. It's not showing like last 3 records. Why? Type IT for more. What is trying to say here is, if you want to look more than 20 records, so it is, you just type IT, right, and hit enter. So you can see you now again remaining seeing the 23 records. So this is cursor actually. In the find return, right, a cursor, basically find method. So cursor is saying, hey, I will give you 20 record at a time. You want to see, you can see it. If you want to see more records, then generally to press IT. So like might be you are working like application that the first page you want to say 20 records, and then through the pagination you want to fetch other records. So that is really helpful. You don't want to push all the data, right, in your from your collection. You just pull the data whatever is required as per user preferences. Suppose I have 10 pages, want to view see some reports, right, but at a time I can go 10 records in one page. So that's really it's helpful, right, to go through it and see the data, right. So this is really good. And suppose if I am using, right, two array here, so I want to see, right, if all the data. So we can also go through the find items like to array, to the same thing the way we have done it. Like if you're doing the find, right, and try to get the data. So we can say we are able to see just 20 records. If we do IT, then we can say remaining records. But if you want to see all the record at a time, so just we can say find dot to array. So it's returning all the 23 records. So right, in one go we are getting all the records and returning the array of the records, like list of records. So this way, if we want to get all the records, we can do that. And if we are trying to use the find one, right, find one, right, and we can say, right, this element is getting it for one record at a time. And if we want to pretty method is not going to work, because pretty is not a function part of find one, because it's not returning a cursor. Okay, so if we want to iterate elements one by one, so we can also run it like what can I say here, find, like if you do dot for each, right, for each, I don't see it's coming, right, for each. So I can say, right, for each, and I'm going to just get one element at a time. So I'm going to say document from this for each. So might be right, in every language we have for each and these features method, right. So we can say print JSON, right, these documents. So I'm iterating one elements at a time, right, and just run it. So it's not closed. Let me close this record. Right, so we can say also we are able to iterate through the for each method as well from this one. So this way, right, we can use cursor as well as if you are using application development, so that will be really helpful. So hope you learned something in this session, new, and please subscribe my channel and share your feedback. Right, if you have any question, please reach out to me. Thank you.